All right, it's another me in my car on the way to somewhere for a few minutes video. So this is just going to be a teams breakdown, individual teams breakdown for the 2024 World Championship Swiss stage, because I don't care about the playing teams, even though there's still some that made it. So we're just going to do, quick little rundown of each one, kind of get my thoughts on them. Starting off, I'm just going to match order here. Got BLG, Billy Gaming. Probably, if it's not your favorite to win the tournament, it's your best friend's favorite to win the tournament, because they're pretty good. They're realistically the team everyone sees challenging Gen G. Best team in China. Kind of, what is there really to say? I think I'm right about that. Is this the best team in China? That'd be kind of awkward. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know why, I just had a random doubt in my head that it just couldn't be that way. But yeah, whatever. Great players up and down the roster. Fantastic team, really. All right, MDK, terrible, honestly. One of the less good Western teams to ever be sent. A complete failure of a format from the LEC. Disgusting, terrible abomination of a team getting into this tournament. Yeah, that's it. They're not making it out of the Swiss stage. TES, Top Esports, another fantastic team. Got some previous World Championships on that one. Absolutely stacked beasts like Cream, Jackie Love, Tion. Just a good-ass team. Top 4, top 5 at the tournament, probably, without question. All right, next. T1. The most fanboyed over, slightly above 500 team ever. Granted, that's just for this year, but that's kind of what's happening. This team is definitely not what they were last year. And unless they get the T1 Worlds buff, it's going to be a tough one, and I could see them not even making it out of Swiss if the matchups don't line up right for them. But, overall, obviously, it's the team that last won the World Championship. They're not terrible. They're just probably not the best team at this tournament, and I wouldn't put them as favorites to win. Next up, Gen G. Probably the odds-on favorite to win this tournament. Granted, maybe not by a lot, but the gap between BLG and Gen G is quite close, and then I think the gap to everyone else is still quite far, even with HLE winning LCK. I think Gen G should still be given the benefit of the doubt that on the right day they beat everyone, most likely. And yeah, team's an absolute beast. Chovy looking to break some curses. Anything besides winning the tournament's a complete failure for this organization and should be looked that way. So, lots of pressure. That's fun. Weibo Gaming. Nice of them to make a really nice World Championship Finals last year. I really enjoyed the gameplay I saw. I really liked, especially the top lane gameplay. That was great. Fantastic to watch, honestly. It was just so fun to watch that competitive series. But yeah, these are all very good players. This should be a quarterfinals team. Most likely, assuming that you don't just get tough bracket draws. Depends on what teams lose, and that's just not something I'm worried about right now. But yeah, this team's good. Top 6, definitely a top 8 team. They're out of China or Korea, so they're probably just de facto top 8 at this point with the state of the West. So we'll see how everything falls. Yeah, I like Xiaohu too. He's cool. Been around a while. Next up, Fnatic. Chokers, disgusting. This is a pressure-filled situation. They're not doing anything here. I don't care what anyone says. This team's vile to watch. I hate it. I think it's just an absolute nightmare watching this team choke away games. I can't even handle looking at it. If it wasn't so funny, I would find it depressing. Anyway, Damwon, it's Showmaker. He's back in Europe to terrorize again. Yeah, this, again, solid, 3rd, 4th place team out of Korea. Excited to see what they can do. Again, I believe this should be a top 8 team. Probably not a favorite I would have over most of the field in terms of who they'd play in quarterfinals, unless they get a good draw, unless you can draw someone like a Weibo or an LNG, maybe even a T1. But without those draws, if DK's playing BLG, pack it up, buddy. That's it. All right, next, Team Liquid. Yeah, they lost to Minions unironically on a stage. That's tough. I wouldn't want to be them. But aside from that, yeah, the team's pretty good. They're probably some of the best off of the non-Asian teams, realistically. Granted, half the players are Asian. You got 2 former World Championships on this team from Asia, but whatever. Impact was like 10 years ago, and Core at this point, we were already looking at 6-7 years. Whatever. I guess they're fine. Hopefully they don't embarrass us. It'd be nice to see us not getting embarrassed. That's really all I can hope. LNG, again, top 8 team. With some spice to it. I like a lot of the players on this team. Big Scout and Gala fan. I like the players. This is a team I could see, with a surprise semifinals appearance, maybe. I think they could do some damage against the right teams. Again, solid top 8 team. Next up, HLE. Probably your dark horse to win the tournament. I mean, realistically, you have to think so. Probably the 3rd best team at the tournament. Just going off who they beat. Semifinals lock, you would have to say, barring some nightmare matchups in the first round. So, I mean, yeah, I think you're looking at one of the best teams in the tournament with actually a reasonable chance to win it. And that'd be pretty cool. PSG, who cares? Playing team. They've been around forever. It's cool to see Betty and Maple and all them, but, like, they suck compared to these other teams. Like, they could probably beat an NA team. Not that that's saying very much, but they could do it. It's great. Junji is cool. I recognize some of these names, but they're probably going to get murdered. FlyQuest. They won the LCS. I think this team, I don't know. I trust them less than Team Liquid to actually play well on the world stage. Personally, I just don't have that confidence in them. The only team I ever had confidence in out of this region was C9, so they're not here. And the team that beat them to get here was one of the worst teams ever sent to the World Championships by major regions, so tough. GAM. Horrible. Kiaya is a funny name. Levi was in NA for a while and he picked Nocturne at Worlds 7 years ago. That's really awesome. This team's terrible. They're going to get murdered. Compared to the field. Still very good. They would beat me, but, like, you know what I mean. G2. Probably the most likely Western team to make it to quarterfinals. This is the team I can actually see taking games off of, like, the 3 and 4 seeds from LCK and LPL, especially teams like Damwon and T1. I feel like those are the teams that could be beat by G2, but maybe not with their failure of early games. Maybe a Chinese team is more likely to throw against them. I don't know. I think they could do it. I wouldn't even be surprised, but I don't know. It's kind of the Caps show, isn't it? If he wants to do his thing, he actually can be on the level of everyone else at this tournament. Like, peak Caps is, a top 10 player at any tournament he attends. Easily. Maybe even top 3, really. So, then Pain Gaming, horrible. I won't even talk about them. I've heard of none of these players. Like, they suck compared to the field. They're going to get completely routed. They're going 0-3. I'd be surprised if they accumulated game time over an hour and a half over the 4 games they will play, because they're going to play one best of 1, lose it, another one, lose it, and then a best of 3 and lose 2 games in a row. Unless they play at GAM or something, then maybe not, but that's my prediction for them, is a nice 0-4 with under an hour and a half of combined game time. Unless they play an NA team, then add 15 minutes for a Fiesta. Hope you enjoyed.